Hi folks, and welcome to the next episode of The Franchise Entrepreneur. And in today's episode I want to talk to you about retirement and what retirement specifically looks like for an entrepreneur and what it actually means. Now, retirement for an entrepreneur looks, I think, very different from the average Joe Blogs, particularly someone that's working within the PAYE system. Now, when I say it looks different, I think it's expectations. The fact is that most people who work in the 9 to 5 PAYE system have different incentives. Some have little choice but to work until they hit a national retirement age or beyond, because they can't financially afford not to do so. So they have very different circumstances, or can have very different circumstances. Others who have been more financially successful may retire or be able to at an earlier age, or a favourite age that a lot of people seem to mention when you talk to them is the age of 55. They're more able to get a payout or have some investments and or a company pension or a mortgage free. So they have a little bit more opportunity to retire early. But the interesting thing is what then? You talk to people about retirement and they don't actually know what retirement is actually going to look like for them. You know, the reality and the actual dream, if you like, of retirement are two very different things. What's the rush to retirement? Well, what is your reason to retire? Is it to travel? Is it for hobbies? Is it to spend your time on the golf course? There's only so much golf that you're going to want to play, isn't there? So in my opinion and observation that I've made over the years, it's driven largely because they just don't enjoy working every day for someone else, for someone else's benefit. But how much time have they really thought about this? It's almost like a distant goal, isn't it? But it soon comes up on you. I think if people just spent a little bit more time and think a little bit more about what retirement actually will look like for them, it would drive a different discussion. It would take them in a different direction. Instead of retirement, they would say, I actually want to achieve fulfillment. That might be financial, it may be contributing to society in a different way. It could be a combination of those things. It could be something more meaningful. It could be charity, creating a charity or working within a charity, creating a legacy or an ongoing financial freedom for the next generation in your family. When you change the question, you can sometimes change the destination. Now, we all have seen the programs where the government are saying and the institutions are saying that people are not setting aside enough money for their retirement. Now, from an entrepreneur's point of view, I think we look at retirement in a slightly different way. If you are an entrepreneur that has truly immersed themselves into that way of life, you're going to have a slightly different perception of what retirement actually is. If you ask me about retirement, I will say, well, I've got no interest whatsoever in retiring. I'm 50 years old now. I should be looking to, over the next 4 or 5 years, if I was in the PAYE system, I would definitely want to retire. I would want to get out of it because it's not for me. I think I would absolutely hate it to have stayed within the PAYE system. And I can understand why people want to retire early. But what does retirement mean to me? Well, retirement is a completely different outlook for me than it is for some of my friends that are in the corporate world. For them, it's all about building up their pension fund to enable them to retire at 55, but they don't actually know exactly what they want to do at the age of 55. I've seen people retire early and then they just they don't know what to do with themselves. They actually then find themselves getting part-time jobs because they need to stay active. And the ones that don't stay active are actually then start to have health problems, start to maybe drink too much, eat too much, and just generally just go into a spiral of decline. My idea of retirement is not to retire. It's actually to work on and in my business on my terms. Now, what that means is that basically I can pick and choose when I work. It's not about me having to work or needing to work. I will have the financial freedom to do what I want to do. And that's very, very different. My pension kind of looks like and is my business. And that's the case for most entrepreneurs, that the pension is wrapped up within the success of the business. Now, I think you've got a few categories of Or you can categorize 3 levels of retirement. Those number 1 will be those people that are on the lower incomes to median on the PAYE system. The second one is PAYE corporate climber, high management. And then there's the business owner, who, a business owner is not the entrepreneur that we're going to discuss. The business owner is someone that owns a business with probably the intention of selling it, and that's his pension. So he's building up his wealth within his business with an absolute view that he's going to sell his business at some point in the future, and that's going to then be his retirement or her retirement. An entrepreneur, I think the true entrepreneur, is someone that really is not going to look to retire. Yes, they may slow down and they may work less, but what they're most likely to do by the very nature of the fact that they are an entrepreneur is actually keep their existing business. That's the foundation business that will probably be their income provider going into their later years. But they will have a number of other sources of income. And all of those will contribute to what people might describe as a pension. And a pension, when you think about it, is just an income stream that just comes into effect at your retirement age. So all of these income streams that an entrepreneur will be working on, they're income streams that just are already there, or they've already generated, but are not dependent upon them to be working within their business. They will just continue to earn them income. And the entrepreneur, being the nature of an entrepreneur, means that they are likely to dip in and out of their various businesses and still be highly active and involved in what they do. And that's my description of where I would say I'm looking to be and where I'm likely to end up. I've got no intention of selling my business to then sit on the beach or play golf or basically fanny around most of the day. That has no interest in me whatsoever. That doesn't mean to say that I'm not prepared to and I don't want time to myself, I don't want to travel, and I don't want to do all these other things. It means that I can do what I want to do when I want to do. That's the freedom that being a successful entrepreneur will give you over being a business owner or a PAYE employee. But I guess even for an entrepreneur, what I'd like you to do is really, at the earliest possible stage in your journey, to start thinking about what retirement actually does mean for you. Are you a business owner, where you're looking to build your business in order to sell it to then retire? And there's nothing wrong with that. Or are you really, truly an entrepreneur in not just word, but in spirit? And it's something that you will probably, it stays with you for life being an entrepreneur. I don't think it's like something you just turn off and turn back on. Those that probably have said that they've retired, they tend to come back in some way into business because it's in their blood. So even if they have managed to sell their business and they've tried out retirement, if you're a real entrepreneur, then the reality is that you will find that you've got itchy feet after a while and you'll be looking to get involved back in a business. So why not just grow a foundation business, grow businesses around it, and allow the income to continue to come through in your later years, and then dip in and out of your business, when you want to. You're still getting the income stream from it. I see too many people make the mistake of retirement for the reason that they've actually hit an age that they think is the right age for retirement. They're almost fulfilling a prophecy of what retirement should actually look like, when the reality is they're not really giving it enough thought on what they are trying to achieve. Retirement's a horrible word. I'd get rid of that word altogether. I think, what kind of lifestyle are you trying to achieve? And I think that's a far better description. And if the lifestyle is that, I've worked in the PAYE system all my life. I just want out. I never really enjoyed what I was doing. And I just want to, just get out and basically do very little for the next 20 years. And that's fine. But I think a lot of those people actually still then get to the end of that and just go, well, I've been working for 30, 40 years of my life and I've got that routine. And now what the hell do I replace it with? And they're lost. They don't know what to do with themselves. And business people are similar, that they've got to a stage where their business is now ripe for selling, and they sell it, and then they go, crap, what do I do now? They don't know what they do. They have a few months of maybe doing some traveling, doing the things that they thought that retirement would look like, but they are lost. We're human beings. We're not built to do nothing. We need to stay active. And I think the entrepreneur, has a different outlet because they don't just stop doing what they were doing. They've built a business. They've grown income streams, and that's what it's mainly about. It's about various income streams that enable them to have the lifestyle that they're looking for in their later years without actually that kind of foundation business ever disappearing. And I think for me, that's what it looks like. The financial freedom, the gaining of multiple income streams that give me the lifestyle that I'm looking for in my later years. And that doesn't equate to sitting on my backside or just doing nothing. So whether you are 20 years old now or 45 years old now or 50 years old, I think you need to give much more thought to the reasons that you're looking to retire and what it is that you're going to do when you do retire. Just as importantly is obviously what kind of income you need to have the lifestyle that you're looking for, because this is what retirement is about. It's about lifestyle. As I said, I don't like the word retirement. It almost implies that it's the end of something, and it shouldn't. It should be the start of something else. But I really don't think that people just give enough thought to it. They kind of know there's a destination there that everyone is aiming and trying to get to that end of the tunnel, and then they get to the end of the tunnel and they go, what now? They don't know what now is. So I would advise everyone to just think about it. What is the lifestyle that you want when you're coming to your later years in life, and then act accordingly. And for those of us that are entrepreneurs or business owners, that doesn't have to equate to you getting rid of your businesses. In fact, I would personally suggest that you keep those businesses and you keep that income stream coming in. So I'm going to wrap that up now, but just, like I said, one person's idea of retirement is not another's. And certainly if you're an entrepreneur, it can mean a very, very different thing to someone that has got a 9-to-5 job. In this case, one cap does not fit all. So I hope you found that interesting, and do tune in to the next episode of Franchise Entrepreneur. We've got some really big announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks, so tune in and do leave your reviews, and I'll speak to you again soon.